there was something while we were gone. First things first. Well, I'll actually do that second. The Paul George thing second. There's a very long article on ESPN.com, a profile on Joel Embiid. And I think that most people didn't read it because it was 13,000 words.
It was 13,000 words?
Yeah, it took me 35 or 40 minutes to read it or something like that.
It's like a book.
It is, I would say this. We had the author on the podcast yesterday. We got to talk to him more about it. It was the most in-depth in terms of getting Joel Embiid to talk that I've ever seen. And it did two things for me. One, it truly made me feel empathy for Joel Embiid as a person. He seems like suspicious of everyone around him all the time. He seems like a lonely guy. He does seem depressed. People that have, like there was a thing, he has like 8,000 missed texts and 800 missed calls. Mm-hmm. When you're avoiding things like that, that's not a good sign.
And he's talking to, like he's a therapist.
Yes, yeah. He, he was talking about when he was a kid and they would go on vacation and he would be so miserable on vacation, they told him he wasn't going to go anymore because he wouldn't talk to anybody else. Mm-hmm. So I have empathy for him being in the situation that he's in. It's tough to be that kind of person in this kind of situation. But I also came away thinking he is unable to take accountability for anything that he does around the Sixers. Mm-hmm. He blames, like his response to that team meeting last year still is being mad that it was leaked.
Yep.
Not that Tyrese Maxey was mad at him for not showing up and being a good teammate. Mm-hmm. There's one thing in there where he talks about when he played against the Knicks that he wished, somebody in the front office was looking out for him and told him not to play because he was in such bad shape. Mm-hmm. Well, if you'd listened to everything the front office said about your health, we might be in a different situation. Yeah. Like if I was in front office, I'd be like, Joel, like I've told you to do a million things and you haven't done them.
Right.
He is just not suited to be a leader on an NBA team. Yeah. I don't think he is. I think he's a good person. Mm-hmm. I think he is struggling. I think he wants all of these things. But sometimes the best player is not necessarily the guy. I think Kevin Durant suffers from the same thing.
Sure.
I think every time Kevin Durant talks about fighting online with a hater
right.
or switching a team to try, I feel empathy because I'm like, I get it. I get when you've accomplished as much as you've accomplished and people on the internet are telling you you're not good enough and you suck. You've won 2 finals MVPs.
Right.
But I also think about Kevin Durant. Man, if you're going to be that guy, you can't also do that.
Yeah.
And it is why his championships came in a place where he was not the leader. Steph was the leader. Draymond was the leader. But it's also why he doesn't feel fulfilled about any of those things. And I think the same thing about Joel. I think it's kind of sad. I think he would be better off if they were able to trade him, which I don't think they are. I think he would be better off with a fresh start somewhere else.
Yeah.
Made me feel bad for him, but it also made me even more sure that he's not the guy.
Yeah.
It's
and I did not read it, but I've heard people talk about it enough.
Yeah.
They started talking about it last week a little bit. And you get some of the snippets online, and it just feels like there is a desire from him to want to give his side of things.
Yes.
Give it from his perspective. And the feeling that I come away from it with, albeit from afar, and you would know better since you've read it, it's almost as if he's accepted it's not going to happen. And he almost wants to give his sort of perspective on things and how it got to this point. It doesn't feel like he's a guy who's still saying, I believe I can go win a championship. We can go win a championship. Like, that's not what it feels like to me. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
So that's how I felt reading it.
Okay.
When we talked to the author yesterday, he seemed to think that he was more locked in and more wanted to prove it more than he ever did.
Okay.
But my thing is always like, I don't know. Does he want to prove the haters wrong, or does he want to win a championship? And like maybe, Michael Jordan, author made a really good point. He's like, Michael Jordan made enemies of people he played with, people he did, his owner, his GM, all those sorts of things. Maybe it is. I just read that and I'm like, man, there's just too much here. And I saw all the reaction. The reaction was one of two things. It was either Joel's making excuses again. What a loser. Puff piece, yada, yada, yada. Or it was people going, oh, woe is Joel. Yeah. If someone had just been looking out for him. If someone had just done this for him. Or he's had a lot done for him. And part of the problem, the reason it's so toxic around the Sixers is him. Yeah. Like, he is part of the problem, you know?
I am growing to believe that he is the biggest problem because he is the main, what do they call it? It's not a common factor.
Well, yeah, I'm looking for, he is the commonality.
Yes.
Between all of these things.
I was not looking for you.
You were looking through me.
Yes, I was really looking at Spike, though, yes.
Well, no, with all those things that have gone wrong.
Common denominator, that's what I was thinking of.
There we go.
Yeah.
I knew it was in there somewhere.
He is.
That damn neural gum ain't working as fast as it should.
Yeah.
But he has to be a guy who sets a tone for what the atmosphere. And I start to see that people have come to appreciate what Kobe mindset was as a player, how he rubbed people the wrong way because all he wanted to do was win.
Sure.
And work hard, and he set that sort of tone, so much so he was willing to run away the most dominant big man since Wilt Chamberlain and didn't care. But he set a tone there that this is what it was going to be about, and I'm going to be the one who leads. Not only, I'm going to be the one who shows up every day, plays hurt, that's always I'm going to be that way until I can't be that way. I can appreciate players like I can appreciate him more now as a player because I believe LeBron has set this culture in place in the NBA. With these guys, you got to basically kiss their ass as the star player, or you're going to get fired as a coach or GM. Yep. They're getting rid of you before they get rid of him.
And if he doesn't like it, he'll go somewhere else.
Exactly. Yep. If he doesn't like it, he can leave and go somewhere else. And all this is basically saying, I'm going to do what I like, what makes me comfortable. I'm not doing anything that makes me uncomfortable. And I just wish Joel, the talent is there. It's the intangible things with Joel that I think he's lacking. To me, he's proved all the haters wrong. Forget about winning the championship, okay. But there were people who thought the guy would never play.
Oh, yeah.
That he wasn't very good. He's already proved those guys wrong.
But he will never, because of how he is, he will never find satisfaction in any of this. I actually don't think, even if he won a championship.
Right. He wouldn't be happy with it.
He would hear the people who are still talking about him. And that's what it seems like. He made, there's a story about a trainer he had for 9 years who he leaned on very hard and basically ended up cutting her off because she just couldn't handle it anymore. And then not that she's an enemy, but that relationship fell apart. So it was, and just on top of that, the Paul George knee surgery, this ain't going to happen this year. I mean, it's just I'm watching for Maxey and Edgecombe and Grimes and
I saw
McCain.
the Paul George thing and I was like, oh, yeah,
great. It's just
I don't think Paul George knows he's a Sixer.
No.
Does he know he's a Sixer?
He's still doing the podcast.
Oh, yeah, great.
They're just kicking me in the groin over and over again.
And a knee scope, awesome.
Yeah, Edgecombe will be fun to watch.
Right, get the young guns out there and let them run.
Yeah.